Be me. Brennan, 28, software engineer in Seattle, work for one of the smaller companies you have never heard of. The kind of guy who color codes his calendar and books restaurants 2 weeks in advance. Not the most exciting personality on paper, but I have my life together. Paid off the car last year, gym 4 mornings a week, decent group of friends, the works. Not a Chad, not invisible, somewhere in the boring middle. I order the same coffee every day at the same time. I have a spreadsheet for my groceries because I got tired of buying the same bag of spinach twice. My friends rip on me for it. I do not really mind. My whole thing has always been that I show up when I say I will show up. That was my one trick, basically. I'm posting this because about 3 months back I ended a year-long relationship, and the way it actually ended was not the way I thought it was going to. Also because I had a couple beers tonight, and I cannot sleep. And because my best friend told me writing it down might help. I told him I was not going to write it down, and now here I am writing it down. Anyway, her name was Sage. I'm not going to bother changing it because she will never see this. Met her in a coffee place 2 blocks from my office, the kind with mismatched mugs and a chalkboard menu. I had stopped in before a meeting because the lobby machine at work was broken. Pink hair, nose ring, sleeve of stick and poke tattoos, the whole indie barista starter pack. She was halfway through a rant at the regular ahead of me about how planning ahead is a tool of capitalist control. I laughed without meaning to. She heard me, looked over the counter, raised one eyebrow, asked if something was funny, told her I was an engineer and planning was kind of my entire personality. She laughed back, asked my name, wrote it on the cup, spelled it wrong on purpose, told me later that misspelling guys' names was her flirting move. I went back the next day, then the day after, then 4 days in a row. Started ordering drinks I did not even like just to have something to talk to her about. She figured it out by day 3 and called me out for it. Told me to just order what I actually wanted. She would still talk to me. That conversation lasted 20 minutes while there was a line forming behind me. By the end of that week, she had given me her number. 3 weeks later, we were dating. First official date was at a record store she liked, then dinner at a small place she had picked. I had wanted to plan something elaborate. She had said no, told me she wanted to plan the first one. Showed up exactly when she said she would. That was the only time she ever did. I should have noticed. I did not. Moved in together about 3 months after that, into a place I had been renting. I told myself it was practical. Her old apartment was farther from her job, and the rent was eating her alive. I covered the lease. She covered groceries and her own bills. At the time, it felt like adult problem solving. Looking back, it was the first thing I planned that should have been a 2-person decision. But she said sure, and so I figured we were on the same page. First 3 months were good in the way new relationships are good. I planned a date every weekend and a couple weeknights too. The ramen place she had mentioned on our second date. A kayaking trip when the weather finally turned. A small hike with a view she had seen on someone's feed. Concerts, food trucks, that art walk thing they do on first Thursdays. A thrift store day where we bought ugly mugs for each other on purpose. A drive up to a small beach about an hour out of the city. A private tour at the aquarium I had won at a work raffle. A paint and sip class where she made me promise to never show anyone our paintings. She posted pictures of all of it. Captions about how she could not believe she found a man who actually showed up. Her friends would comment things like, "Where do I find one?" One of them messaged me directly and asked if I had a brother. I do not, but I told her my cousin was single. Nothing came of it, but the comment made me feel like I had won something. This woman, who clearly had options, picked me. The boring planner guy. I caught myself smiling at my own desk, thinking about her. One of my coworkers actually noticed and asked who she was. I told him about her over lunch and probably came off like an idiot. He was nice about it, told me I sounded happy. I was happy. Looked at rings once. Not seriously. Just window shopping in incognito mode. I was 13 weeks in, and already picturing the long version. Looking back, I know that was stupid. But at the time, it really felt like the start of something. So, here is where it started to crack. Month 4. I had booked a steakhouse downtown. The kind of place that takes reservations a month out and charges your card if you no-show. She had mentioned wanting to go on date 3, 4 months earlier. I had remembered, set a reminder, locked in the booking the day reservations opened. I had even called ahead to ask if they could put a candle on her dessert because it was close to our 4-month mark. The host had laughed and said they could probably swing something. Day of, an hour before we were supposed to leave, my phone buzzed. She had texted from the bedroom, even though I was in the living room, said her nervous system needed softness tonight, said self-care was non-negotiable, added a heart emoji and a sparkle. I sat there in my dress shirt for a while, walked into the bedroom to see if she was actually okay. She was on the bed in a face mask, scrolling her phone. Said she just needed to be horizontal tonight. I told her okay. Went back into the living room. Called the restaurant, ate the cancellation fee. Told the host to scratch the dessert thing. Ordered a sandwich from the deli on the corner. Told myself it was fine. Everyone has off days. She came out of the bedroom around 9. Did not bring it up. I did not bring it up either. This is the part I have to own. I decided to be the cool, understanding guy. Red flag I waved with my own hand. 2 weeks after that, Hosier was in town, her favorite. I had bought floor tickets the day they went on sale, $200 each, told her after as a surprise. She had cried a little when I showed her the screenshotted my message and posted it. Her friends called her lucky in the comments. Day of the show, about an hour before doors, she sat me down on the couch. Said her nervous system was dysregulated, repeated the phrase twice, said she could not be in a crowd tonight, asked if I could sell the tickets so they would not go to waste. I sat in the kitchen for 2 hours trying to flip them online, ended up taking half what I paid. Some couple from across the city met me in a parking lot and thanked me 4 times. They had been trying to get tickets for months, looked like they were on a date. The woman hugged me. The guy shook my hand. I drove home and ate cereal for dinner. Sage was asleep when I got back. Around midnight, one of her friends posted a story from the show. Sage was tagged in it, but the photo was a still of the stage from row 12. I assumed her friend had just tagged her by reflex. Told myself she would have come if she could. 2 weeks after that, I had set up a vineyard day trip with another couple, friends of mine from work, booked the driver, prepaid the tasting fees, the whole thing. Texted the friends a confirmation the night before. They were excited. The wife had been wanting to meet Sage for months. Night before, she pulled the cord. Said she was protecting her peace. Said she did not want to perform happiness for other people right now. Said meeting new couples was emotional labor. I told my friends in a text that she had a migraine. Did not feel like making up something new. I drove up the next morning by myself. Told my friends in person she had a migraine. They smiled and said no worries. But the wife of the couple gave me a look as I was getting back in the car. The kind of look that is not quite pity, but is in the neighborhood. I do not remember the drive home very well. I do remember stopping at a gas station and standing outside the car for a while. Then I got back in and drove the rest of the way. Did not say anything about the trip when I got home. She did not ask about it. That was kind of the worst part. Around month 6 was my older sister's birthday. Family dinner at my mom's place. I had told Sage about it weeks ahead. My sister had only met her once, 20 minutes at a coffee thing, and was excited to actually have a meal together. My mom had bought a little welcome gift for her. Day of the dinner, Sage was still in bed at noon. I came in and asked if she wanted to leave around 4 to beat traffic. She rolled over and told the ceiling she was not sure she could do family today. Said her therapist had told her to honor her limits. Said family energy was heavy and she needed to feel safe. I tried not to push. Asked her if there was anything specific. She said it was about her nervous system. I went alone. My mom asked where Sage was at the door. I said she was not feeling well. My sister gave me a look across the kitchen island. My brother-in-law mouthed the word again from the dining room. I laughed it off and changed the subject. The little welcome gift stayed in the kitchen. I did not ask if I could take it home. That one stuck with me longer than I let on. My family had been hearing about Sage for months. They still had not really met her. They had met a ghost who kept canceling. About a week after the family dinner, my best friend asked to grab a beer. We had known each other since freshman year, the guy I tell things to. Met up at the place near my apartment, the one with the okay wings and the good draft list. He got right to it. Asked me how many times Sage had bailed on plans in the last 6 months. I opened my phone and started counting. Messages, photos of the empty-seated restaurants, reservation cancellations. 7 that I could remember off the top of my head. He just looked at me. Said that wasn't anxiety, that was a pattern. I got defensive, told him she had stuff going on, was working through some things, told him her therapist was helping her with limits, told him not every woman wants to be the social planner type, and that was okay. Told him I liked planning anyway. He asked me when was the last time she had planned something. I could not remember a single time, not one, not even a coffee on a Saturday morning. I tried to come up with something for a full minute. He just drank his beer while I tried. Eventually, I changed the subject and ordered another round. He raised his hands, said all right, dropped it. I could tell he wanted to say more. That night, I lay in bed turning it over. Told myself my friend just did not understand her. Told myself he did not have the full picture. He had warned me off a girl in college and been wrong. This was going to be one of those times. That is what I told myself. Between month 6 and month 8, things got worse, but in a quiet way. There was the art opening I had bought tickets to. My co-worker's exhibit, his first solo show in a small gallery in the city. I had told him I would be there with my girlfriend, talked her up to him for weeks. She bailed 2 hours before. Said she could not be perceived by strangers that night. I went alone, bought my co-worker a drink, told him Sage was sick. My co-worker said no problem in a voice that meant he had heard that before from other men. He did not ask about her after that. There was a cooking class. I had prepaid for both of us, her gift for my birthday actually. Day of, she could not. I went by myself, ended up paired with a retired guy named who was nice enough. Asked me about my wife. I told him she was at home, did not correct him. Made handmade pasta, took home both portions. Ate her share standing over the sink the next night. There was a friend's small wedding reception. Not the ceremony, just the dinner after. She had agreed to come 3 weeks before. I had told my friends she was excited to finally meet them. She made it through the cocktail hour and then asked to leave because the noise was overstimulating. I drove her home, came back 2 hours later to apologize for leaving early. My friend was nice about it, but he did not look at me the same way for a few months after. There was also a Saturday morning farmers market thing I had wanted to take her to because she had mentioned a vendor she wanted to find. She slept in. I went, picked up the thing she had wanted, brought it home. She said thanks and put it on the counter. Still on the counter a week later when I threw it out. By then, I had stopped trying to keep an exact count. I just knew the shape of it. Plan something, look forward to it, brace for the cancellation. That became the rhythm. Around month 8, I planned a weekend in Portland, booked a small hotel downtown, made dinner reservations, the whole thing. $600 non-refundable because I had taken the discount rate to make it work. She had been talking about Portland for weeks, posting saved pins of places she wanted to go. I had even built the itinerary around the places she had pinned. 3 hours before we were supposed to leave, she came out of the bedroom in her robe, said she could not travel today, said she had gotten a feeling in meditation that this trip was not aligned. I stood there with the duffel bag still in my hand. She saw my face and pivoted. Said I planned too much. Said my planning energy was honestly kind of masculine and forceful. Said it did not respect her autonomy. Said some guys did not realize how their drive to control schedules can be a form of toxicity. Said she had been reading about it. Said the language she used was not hers. It was the language of women who had been through what she was going through. I nodded, did not argue. Called the hotel, got half back, lost the rest. Called the restaurants, canceled the reservations one by one. The host, at the last one I called, asked if everything was all right. I told him yeah, just a change of plans. Went to the gym for 2 hours. Came home, and she was on the couch watching a documentary about coral reefs. Asked me how my workout was. I told her it was fine. That became my answer to a lot of things in the months that followed. 2 weeks later, her favorite band was playing a one-off show. I had snagged tickets through a coworker who had connections. Did not even tell her about it until that morning. Thought maybe a surprise instead of a planned date would land different. She sat at the kitchen table looking at the ticket screenshot. Said the surprise itself was overwhelming. Said being put on the spot was a form of pressure. Said it was sweet, but she just could not. I returned the tickets through the same coworker, took a loss. That night, I realized I was starting to treat my own girlfriend like a customer who might leave a bad review. Everything I did was risk assessed. Everything had a backup plan. I was tired in a way that did not show up on the outside. Our 1 year was coming up. I had a rooftop place booked. View of the water, fairy lights, the whole picture. Also had a ring. Not a proposal ring. A smaller one. Kind of a promise thing, the way some couples do. Something to say I was in this and willing to keep being in it. I had picked it out 2 months earlier when she was at work. Even talked to her best friend about it. Asked if she thought Sage would like the style. Her friend said yes. Said she was happy I was thinking about it. Told me to do it on the rooftop. Said it would be perfect. I had practiced what I was going to say a few times in the car on my way home from work. Not a proposal speech. Just a thing about how the year had been a lot, but I wanted to keep going. Day of, she got out of the shower with a towel around her hair. Told me she was having a hard day. Said she could not perform romance tonight. Said celebration energy felt manufactured to her. Asked if we could do something low-key next week. I told her, sure, no problem. Put the ring back in my dresser drawer under some shirts. Canceled the rooftop, lost the deposit, texted her best friend to let her know it had not happened. She sent back a single thumbs down emoji and nothing else. That was the first time I realized her own best friend knew the score. I just had not been ready to admit it. Ordered Thai food, ate it on the couch. She joined me later, picked at her noodles, scrolled her phone. Posted something about how growth is uncomfortable. I saw the post because I was sitting 2 feet from her. She did not show me, but I saw it. I did not say anything. I was starting to forget what saying things even sounded like. Her birthday came up a month after our anniversary. I had been planning it since the previous summer, 6 months out. Booked a private rooftop space, hired a small caterer, invited 14 of her people. Her best friend was in on it, had helped me build the guest list. Cake from the bakery she always talked about, the one across town she could never make time to visit. I had even tracked down the dress she had screenshot from a feed once and said was too expensive. Bought it in her size, planned to give it to her that morning so she would have something nice to wear. I told myself this would be the moment things turned around. Show her how much she mattered, kind of reset the whole year. Morning of the surprise, I came into the bedroom with 2 coffees and the dress in a box behind my back. She was sitting up against the headboard, scrolling. Told me she had a revelation during her morning meditation. Said she wanted to spend her birthday alone. Said she needed to decolonize her joy from external validation. Said celebrating with others had been a way she performed womanhood for the male gaze. I was still holding 2 mugs and a dress in a box behind my back, just standing in the doorway of our bedroom. She was not even looking up at me. I put the coffee down on the nightstand, kept the box behind my back, walked it into the closet, slid it onto the top shelf. She did not notice. Went into the bathroom, sat on the edge of the tub for a while with the fan on, so she would not hear anything. Then I went into the hall and did what I had to do. Texted 14 people that the surprise was off, made up something about Sage being sick, texted the caterer, ate the deposit, no negotiation, called the rooftop place. They said they could not refund on the day of. I told them I understood. Her best friend called me back about 10 minutes after my text went out. I let it go to voicemail. Could not handle whatever she was going to say. Spent that day driving around the city. Ended up at a diner I had never been to. Ordered a burger I did not really want and a coffee I did not really drink. That is when I counted them all up. I went through my texts, my calendar, my photos, made an actual list on a napkin, wrote each one in a column with the date next to it. 11 cancellations in about 8 months of cancellation territory. Not the small ones, not the picking up dinner ones, the big ones. Concerts, trips, dinners, family events, her own birthday. I had been the only one showing up for our relationship for almost a year. She had been showing up for her self-care. I sat there with my cold burger for a long time. Did not cry, did not write some long message, just folded the napkin up and put it in my wallet. That napkin stayed in my wallet for about a month after. I would feel it through the leather sometimes when I sat down wrong. Drove home around dusk. She was on the couch in her robe, watching a documentary. Turned out she had done a clay mask and a yoga session and read a third of a book. She asked me how my day was. I told her it was fine, kissed her on the forehead, made myself a sandwich, went to bed early. I did not raise my voice that night or the next or the next, did not write a long message, did not even bring it up. But something inside me had gone quiet in a way that is hard to describe properly. The part of me that planned was just gone, like a switch had clicked off. Next morning, I did not book anything. Day after that, nothing. Weekend came and I went to the gym, played games online with my friends, read a book, made coffee for her in the morning, kissed her goodbye. Was perfectly nice. But the calendar was empty. No rooftop dinners, no road trip ideas, no opening night reservations, no surprise tickets, all of it gone. She did not notice for the first week or so. She was in some kind of healing era, had deleted her planning apps, her words. I noticed she had not made plans either, but I figured that was the point of her healing era. I also noticed something else that first week. My own energy was different. I had not realized how much of my mental load had been Sage-related, checking her schedule before booking anything, building in contingency plans, pre-booking refundable options just in case. Once I stopped, my evenings opened up in a way I had forgotten was possible. I finished a book I had started in February, called my mom for a real conversation, not just a check-in. Caught up with a friend I had lost touch with after I moved in with Sage. None of it was planned. It just happened because I was no longer running coverage on someone else's flake. Second week into the new me, she came into the kitchen one morning while I was making toast. Told me we should do something this weekend. We had not been out in a while. I told her sure. Asked her what she wanted to do. She got this confused look on her face. Said she thought I would have ideas. I shrugged. Told her I figured I should respect her autonomy more. Told her I did not want to be one of those guys who imposes his planning energy. Told her self-care was non-negotiable for me too these days. Told her I was protecting my peace. She smiled in a strained way, said that was great, went to yoga, posted something about how growth is uncomfortable. Same caption she had used the night of our anniversary. I think she had run out of original captions. By the third week, she was rattled. I could tell because she kept asking me what I was thinking about. I never had a good answer because I was not really thinking about much. She started cooking dinner some nights, which was new. Asked if I wanted to watch a movie. Also new. I said yes to most of it, but I did not initiate anything. Her stories used to be full of stuff I planned. Now they were yoga selfies and quotes on plain backgrounds. One of the quotes was about how the right partner shows up for you. I scrolled past it. Another one was about how silence is a sentence men give women who ask for more. I scrolled past that one too. She started buying me things. A candle from the shop she liked. A book she said had reminded her of me. A t-shirt in a color I would never wear. I thanked her every time. Kept the candle, donated the shirt, never opened the book. One night, I came home a little earlier than usual because a meeting got canceled. She did not hear me come in. I could hear her on the phone in the bedroom. She was crying. Telling someone, probably her best friend, that I had become distant. That she did not know what changed. That maybe this was a form of male emotional withdrawal. That she had been reading about it. That there were apparently patterns where men withhold affection as a punishment. That her therapist had not used those exact words, but had hinted at it. I stood in the hallway for a while. Then I made myself loud coming through the door, jangled the keys, scuffed my shoes. She came out a minute later, smiling like nothing had happened. I smiled back. Did not say anything. That night she asked me if I still loved her. I told her I cared about her. Did not use the word love. She noticed, did not push it. Around the end of the third week, she was waiting for me when I got home on a Friday. Candles lit, glass of wine for both of us. She had a look I had seen before. The look she got when she had rehearsed a speech in front of the bathroom mirror. I had heard her doing it earlier that week, when she did not know I was home. Could not catch the words then. I had a feeling I was about to hear them now. We sat down at the kitchen table. She told me we needed to talk. Told me I had been emotionally withholding. Told me my quiet was a form of punishment. Told me she had been reading about how some men weaponize silence. Said it was a known pattern in toxic relationships. Said her therapist had not named me directly, but had suggested I might be working through something on her time. She had a couple of articles pulled up on her phone. Turned the screen toward me at one point. I did not lean in to read them. She had highlighted phrases in yellow. I let her finish. Then I asked her calmly how many plans she had canceled in the last year. She got this look. Said that was not the same thing. I asked her why not. Told her I had counted, that I had written it down. I actually still had the napkin in my wallet. Did not pull it out, just told her I had it. 11. Her own birthday included. My sister's birthday included. Our anniversary included. Plus the cooking class she had bought me as a present. Plus the wedding reception. We had to leave halfway. She said those were different. Said her cancellations had come from self-protection. Said mine had come from punishment. I asked her how she knew the difference if she had never asked me. She did not answer that one for a while. She got up, walked to the kitchen, came back with the wine bottle, sat down again, tried a new angle. Said this was a form of male emotional toxicity. Said I was punishing her for having needs. Said I was demonstrating exactly the kind of behavior her therapist warned women about. Said quiet men were sometimes the most dangerous. Said this was textbook. I asked her if her therapist had ever heard about the 11 cancellations. She did not answer that one either. Turned out she had not mentioned that part to her therapist. Turned out she had been describing me as a man who would not show emotion, not as a man who had planned 11 things in a row that she had not shown up to. I did not yell, did not pound the table, did not even raise my voice. I just told her, in her own words, that I was honoring my capacity these days. Told her I needed to protect my peace. Told her self-care was non-negotiable for me too now. Told her my nervous system was dysregulated. Told her I could not perform romance tonight. Told her family energy had been heavy lately. Told her some guys did not realize how their drive to demand emotional availability can be a form of toxicity. Used every phrase she had used on me, not in a smug way, in a flat one, just listing them back to her. She stared at me from across the table. Her wine sat in front of her, untouched. Told me I was weaponizing therapy language against her. Told me I was twisting her own healing tools to hurt her. Told me I was doing the exact thing her articles described. I asked her how that was different from when she had used the same words. She said it was different because her use had been sincere. I asked her how she could be sure mine was not. She said because she could feel it. I asked her if I had ever told her I could feel it when she did the same thing to me. She did not have an answer for that one. Got up, went into the bedroom, closed the door. I sat at the kitchen table for a while, finished the glass of wine, blew out the candles, put the bottle back in the fridge. That night, I heard her on the phone with her best friend through the bedroom wall. Could not make out the words at first. She was crying again, telling her side. I heard the phrase emotional toxicity float through the door a couple times. Then there was a long pause. Then she went quiet. I heard her friend's voice through the speaker, raised a little, but still muffled. Could not catch the words, but I could tell something landed wrong on Sage's side. About an hour later, Sage came out of the bedroom with her eyes red. Did not look at me. Went to sleep on the couch. I learned later, indirectly, that her best friend had asked her how many times she had canceled on me that year, and when Sage gave a number, a low number, lower than the actual one, her friend had pushed back, told her she knew about at least 4 off the top of her head, told her the rooftop birthday alone made 11 probably an undercount. Her friend had not known about most of them individually until the birthday one. That one had been the breaking point on her end, too. She had taken a day off work for it. I learned later, also indirectly, that her friend had been holding her tongue for months. That night was the first time anyone in her circle pushed back on her side of the story. I think part of Sage had hoped her friend would back her up. Her friend did not. And I think that is the moment, somewhere in the dark, on a couch in our living room, that she actually started to consider she might be wrong, or at least not as right as she had assumed. Next morning, I made coffee. Almost made 2 mugs out of habit, only made 1. Sat down at the kitchen table. She came out of the living room, eyes still puffy. I told her this was not working, told her I was done. She started crying, told me I could not just leave, told me we were in this together, told me people in healthy relationships work through things, told me my walking away was proof of the very pattern she had been describing, told me I was running from accountability, told me a man who could not sit with discomfort was not the partner she had thought I was. I told her I had been sitting with discomfort for a year alone, told her she could have 2 weeks to find somewhere else to live, told her the lease was in my name and I would be staying. That part actually surprised her. She had forgotten I was on the lease alone. She said I was being cold. Said I had become exactly the kind of man she used to warn her friends about. Said this was textbook male toxicity. Said her therapist would have a field day with the way I was handling this. Said I had been performing kindness for a year and the real me was now showing up. Said the silent treatment was a form of abuse. I told her okay, kept it short. got my keys, drove to a coffee shop across town, worked from there the rest of the day. 2 weeks later, she was out. She took the smaller couch, the dishes that had been hers from before, her plants, her books, left a pile of stuff she did not want in the corner of the bedroom. I bagged it up and dropped it off at a donation place. Did not look through any of it. Did find the dress I had bought for her birthday in the back of the closet, still in the box, untouched. Did not know what to do with it. Ended up giving it to my sister to donate so I would not have to think about it again. About a week after she moved out, I got a screenshot from a buddy of mine. He had seen something on a mutual friend's feed and forwarded it to me without asking first. I almost did not open it. Long post from Sage, not naming me, but obviously about me. Talked about men who use boundary language as a weapon, about emotional withdrawal as the new toxicity, about how some men will perform self-care to punish their partners, about how quiet men are often the most dangerous. She had quoted 2 different articles. I read it once, did not react, did not post anything in response. Put the phone face down on my desk and got back to work. Here is the part she did not see coming. The comments did not go the way she expected. One of the people who had been on the surprise rooftop birthday guest list saw the post. This person had taken time off work for that birthday and never been told why it was suddenly canceled. They had spent months wondering what really happened. They left a long comment. I never read the comment, but I heard about it from my best friend, who heard about it from his girlfriend, who knew somebody who ran in Sage's circle. Apparently, it laid out enough of the timeline that the post did not land the way Sage had meant it to. Some of her friends had been on that planning team. Some of them started doing the math. The post was deleted within 24 hours. I learned later that 2 of the women in her circle reached out to her privately after that, not to attack her, just to ask. Apparently, those conversations did not go well for her side either. I did not write anything about any of this online, did not need to. Nobody messaged me asking my side. I think a few of them already knew. That was about 3 months ago now. I am still in Seattle, still working the same job. Moved the dresser in the bedroom so the drawer with the ring would stop sticking. Actually returned the ring eventually. Got most of the money back. Used part of it to buy a new pair of hiking boots. I've been going on a hike every weekend now, just me and a podcast. Booked a solo trip to Portland a few weeks back, the one we never took. Walked around the bookstores, ate at the place I had wanted to try, even did one of the things from the itinerary she had asked me to build. Did not cancel on myself once. My best friend bought me a beer last weekend. Did not say I told you so. Just said it was good to have me back. I asked him what he meant by that. He said I had been pretty quiet for a long time, even before the breakup. Told me my whole personality had been Sage management. Said he had been worried for a while. Said his girlfriend had been telling him to say something for months, and he had not known how. I had not realized. Thought I had been fine. My sister called me a couple weeks ago. Asked if I wanted to come to Sunday dinner at my mom's place. I told her yes. Showed up an hour early to help my mom cook. Nobody mentioned Sage. My mom did not even ask. I think she had been waiting for me to come back to that table. Not looking to start anything new for a while. Tried one of the apps for about 2 weeks. Deleted it. Not because I was bitter. Just realized I did not want to do the work of vetting someone right now. Not bitter, not angry, just tired. Still believe most women are not like Sage. My mom is not like Sage. My sister is not like Sage. 2 of the women on my team at work are not like Sage. But the version of myself that ignored 11 cancellations to keep the peace is gone. That version is not coming back. That is probably for the best. Maybe down the line, I will meet someone who actually shows up when they say they will. Maybe not. Either way, I am done planning around someone who never planned to be there. Thanks for reading if you made it this far. Going to bed.